is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Tennessee Titans and the London Monarchs. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime.
Okay, Coach, thank you. We are about 4,300 miles away from you there in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England. Coming up, another edition of the NFL International Series, and it should be a good one, between the Tennessee Titans and the London Monarchs. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
Lucky 56. Here we go now. 3-19.
Now a play fake here on first down. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. A big play there on the first play of the game. 69 yards.
Similar to a slant, it's all about timing when you're throwing a crossing route. Quarterback and receiver have to be in sync, and when they put it on them just right and catch it full speed, running through a defense.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. And there it is, sack number 201. He has broken Bruce Smith's all-time record.
For a lot of us, we wondered if anyone would get to that record. But the way teams are throwing the ball around, more opportunities for these sack artists to accumulate numbers. And we've seen the biggest number of all eclipsed today.
Looking to throw on second down. Bowen under pressure again, and down he goes again. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. In for the score. And the Titans take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. And a great example there of just getting the feet in a tough spot. It seems like every year these guys get better at this.
Well, I think the drills get better, that they work on training camp, off-season work, OTAs. But also a lot of these guys have dance backgrounds, ballet backgrounds, and they take that and carry it over to the football field.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
Back to throw now on first down. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. And got his man complete. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he reaches the 38. And they rattle off a big one. 46 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way in for the touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. It doesn't matter where you start with the football now. They have to feel great about their opportunity.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play call, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy's disrupting your run.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
And on the ground they go with a running back. He doesn't find a ton of space following the display of quick feet down just inside the 45. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now they'll run it on the toss. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's able to find some room as they get him down after a good run. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back?
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play, and result, touchdown.
And he will get into the end zone again, and he seems to have a nose for it as he gets both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. He'll pick up another first down with that run.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead, it works opposite.
He lost two there, and it's third down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So first and second down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. From the gun, Bowen. Caught by Nelson left side. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Wide open receiver complete. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. He got 29 yards that time.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Watch it now, Barney. Back 99 Philly, here we go. Watch safety creeping.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Open space inside the 10. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it first and goal. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful.
And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great play there with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. John Harbaugh thought about it, and now his guys are going to go for the two-point conversion. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Titan offense now as they make their way back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Here we go now.
They'll go with the ground attack here. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, you got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit. We're not even at halftime.
Yeah, nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
And they'll go on the ground. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. They'll look to throw here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. In for the score. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. And they are 3 for 3 on two-point conversions as he is into the end zone for the score. They get the conversion, and Charles, when you only have 2 yards to go, what do you think of the toss play? Because initially it kind of sets you back a little bit.
It does, especially if you get a lot of pressure coming towards you. But if you can get to the edge, if you seal the edge with your blocking, often your tackle or your tight end on what they call the play side where the ball goes, you can get to the corner, and that allows those big guys to get out ahead of the runner.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go.
Off the play fake. Bowen. He sets to fire deep. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. One thing's for sure. This defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating him up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, not get loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
It's a big play there. 48 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Illegal forward pass. Offense.
So they say no to the penalty. The incompletion stands. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And what they want to do is go ahead and take those downs away from them. You never want to give extra snaps to any offense. That's how you get hurt.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. And it's caught. Touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And this offense is running away with this one. John Harbaugh thought about it, and now his guys are going to go for the 2-point conversion. Here's a toss coming right. And make him 4 for 4 now on 2-point conversions as he'll take this one in for the score. 1 quarter in the books. Can't wait to see what the second quarter has in store. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade.
Back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the first quarter. Now it's time for the second quarter kickoff, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
And they'll run it here. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Tennessee. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
Detroit!
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And they do finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 41. And what a big-time play there. 41 yards.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. And on the ground they go with a running back. There he goes inside the 30, the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And this offense continues to pour it on. And now once again, they'll line up to go for 2. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it. Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And how does he rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on the scoreboard. How does he get his guys going?
To make sure they understand it's not a me game, it's a team game. Everyone has to come together. Everyone has to up the level of play a little bit, including himself, and find a way to make some plays in order to give them a little bit of a spark and rally the team.
We'll see if they can indeed rally down big on the scoreboard right now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Over the middle, complete. It's Morris. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. punt it on the toss. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Detroit!
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. He got 29 yards that time. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10, and he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Throwing to start the drive. Bowen. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
To throw on 2nd down. Bowen.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Now let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
On 3rd down. That's Burns. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. So they couldn't get anything there, Charles. Now 4th down from their own 2, and a bad situation, to be frank, for the special teams.
Yeah, if you are the punting team now, your number one thing is protect the punter, because you got to think they may actually come after him trying to get a big play.
Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. He's been in a pretty good groove. They actually have more yards on the ground than through the air, but both have been good, pretty balanced.
And have we ever met a coach when we've talked to him before a game that hasn't mentioned wanting to be balanced?
No, because then you've got both sides hitting the defense. They don't know what to expect, right?
Really helps your play calling, because now you're in a position where you're confident in either aspect of the game. Dial it up and let it go. And so far, that's allowed them to lead.
Absolutely. Have the lead here in the 2nd quarter. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That goes for a gain of 31.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down, and he will take it in for the touchdown. In for the score. And this offense is running away with this one. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There can be plenty more before this game is over.
John Harbaugh thought about it, and now his guys are going to go for the 2-point conversion.
Watch it now, Barney!
Here's a toss coming right. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. Needed a couple yards for the 2-point try. They go to the ground game, and it works.
And sometimes it's the exact right thing to do because a lot of teams play you for the pass. So you spread people out, decide to run the football. You often find good running lanes.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing on first down. Bowen. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Line of scrimmage. Again, the 25. 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Bowen, and that is incomplete.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
On 3rd down, Bowen gets this one to Morris. And they work this well upfield across the 45. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Throwing again. Bowen. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Set. Green, 39.
To throw on 3rd down. Bowen. Looking for Benjamin, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? He's going to rifle one deep left side. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off at the 12. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second. When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Here's J.K. Scott now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. They've sort of epitomized balance. I mean, he's thrown the ball pretty well. They've run the ball well. Got to be pretty happy over on that sideline.
Takes a lot of pressure off, doesn't it? As much as those guys back there want to throw the ball around and be the focal point, when you're able to run it well and hold the defense back from their pass rush, it allows you to throw it as well as we're seeing so far in this game.
Yeah, now they'll be looking to add to their lead here in the second quarter. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And that one results in 35 yards. Jackson on first down. Out to his left. And it's caught. Touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And this offense continues to pour it on. Oh, such great concentration. They're going right up against the side of the end zone, but able to get the feet in bounds.
There's so many things that go into that catch, and you just mentioned the concentration, being able to catch the football, get your feet down in bounds, hang on to it all the way through the process of the catch. That was a phenomenal play.
And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. And they're able to ground it in there on the 2-point try. And you and I were talking before the game that 2-point conversions from the 15-16 season, what has changed, what hasn't changed, partner?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's changed is just your normal strategy, because now you're either kicking the football with the ball on the 15-yard line, or if you decide to go for 2, they put it on the 2-yard line. So what are you thinking as a coach? Do I risk it? Do I go for it here? Do I try and gain a strategic advantage and maybe go for 2 early? That's what people are wondering about.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Bowen. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Got some real estate inside the 30. And finally down at the 9-yard line. That one good for 33 and a first.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now it's Jackson. Flushed out right. That is caught at the 7-yard line. 1:59 to go in the first half. Back to the booth right after this. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. Now Jackson on 2nd down. And it's caught. Touchdown. In for the score. And this offense is running away with this one. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. So they kept it on the ground, got it into the end zone. But Charles, sometimes you probably see teams treat a 2-point conversion differently than if it was 1st and goal from the 2, or I should say 3rd and goal from the 2.
I agree with you totally on that. A lot of teams treat it as if they have farther to go and shy away from running the football. I think this is a great spot to do it because most teams play you for the pass. Go ahead and run and let your linemen surge and fire out.
Detroit! Detroit! Hurry up, here we go! Blue 90!
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Back to the air on second down. Bowen throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Nelson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 16 yards there, a Tennessee first down. On 1st and 10, Bowen finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll make it a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. On third down, that's Burns. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Lucky 56.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. Oh, spinning away. And he's got this down to the 35. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Leopard! Over!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So we've reached halftime here. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is, don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now it's Jackson. There's that man again. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, a 22.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. Here's Jackson to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 33. 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
You're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an interception.
For different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a too sober word. You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. And here now the offense heading back out there. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
They told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Right back to him on first down. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
Barney! Over! Hey, alert 3!
Now they'll run it on the toss. He won't go down. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big play there. 41 yards on the ground. Well, he currently stands second in the league in rushing, and runs like that are a big reason why. Heck, runs like that might get him to first.
And when you've got goals in front of you, if you're second and you want to be first, that type of running gives you something to shoot for and hopefully attain.
Now he's forced out right. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
No, check, Patriot!
And they'll run it here. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Back 99 Philly, here we go!
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. A good run on first down, and now they contemplate a second and goal situation. They get it to him running left. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal? And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he will be brought down well shy of the goal line. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone, and it'll be a turnover on downs. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on fourth, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that D?
Momentum swing. Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So that one will be accepted.
No, check, Patriot!
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 29. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit. And receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Gotta know the drill.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
And oh, look at that, a diving catch. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
I know at retirement ceremonies, a rocking chair is often one of the major gifts. But don't give this guy one just yet. He may be plus 30, but my goodness, how about that effort?
Yeah, he's not that old. Hey, I'm on the wrong side of 32.
You okay? You feeling all right?
I'll be all right.
Okay, good.
I just need some chocolate and a box of tissues.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Now this offense about ready to take over again. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And that might be Titan football. It is. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games. That defensive front four has been very good. They have just not let the running game get going, have they?
Not at all. In fact, the entire offense just looking a little bit out of sync in this one.
Yeah, sometimes this is why coaches like forward-down defensive linemen, they feel like they can cover more ground when defending the run.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Bowen. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
And the kick by Butker is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there. And, boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. That one good for 33 and a first.
Dance class, anyone? Did you see the steps between the quarterback and the running back on that counter play?
That's what you need for a good counter.
You have to have it because you're setting up your blocking. There's a timing element as well. But they have to marry up their steps. Otherwise, that timing gets thrown out the window.
Timing was great there and a big run. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Now that's how you start to get back in the good graces of your head coach. Remember, he fumbled on the last possession. How about the faith they showed him, giving him the ball again, and he repaid them, picking up a first down.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. Over the middle, it's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up first and goal now. It'll be first and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now here in London. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And this offense continues to pour it on. And that score will do it. He is now the most prolific touchdown rusher of all time.
When they always talk about a runner who has a nose for the end zone, this player exemplifies that statistic. And now it's been quantified. The all-time touchdown rushing record in the NFL.
Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us. And they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, it could also result in a melee later, though. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. That's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team that had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, Bowen. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to make it fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. And now back out comes the offense. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says? Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
And they'll run it here. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A gain of 3, second down. And quickly they get to the line. The give to the fullback on the down. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. On the give, this is their fullback. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's third down now.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Check 99. Check 99. 6 guard. Check 6 guard.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They give them 12 yards and a first down.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story. Now, a loose football. The ball comes out. And that might be Titan football. It is.
He doesn't give many opportunities to carry it, so he's got to maximize. In this case, after dropping it like that, I think his number's going to go way down. What do you think?
Yeah, and sometimes those fullbacks, let's just be frank, they usually don't have the hands that the running back does.
And it's hard for them because they do so much blocking. A lot of times, their hands actually get beat up in the process, and it's hard for them to hold on to the football.
Here we go now.
And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
To throw on second down. Bowen. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
Green 39. Green 39.
Throwing on third and long. Bowen. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at about the 31.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. Know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
There's Jackson on 3rd and long. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on Third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth.
Watch it now, Barney!
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. He's got his tight end in Njoku. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 21 yards there. A big play on fourth down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. Oh, nice move. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 12 more yards there and another first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It goes as a loss of 6, and now 3rd down.
Brandon, at some point, these defenders absolutely have to say, we've just got to make a stand. We've had enough of this.
Giving up a lot of points in this game, but look better on that play. They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
Watch it now, Barney!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
They converted once earlier on this opening drive, but now comes a big test. 4th and goal. And they'll go on the ground. And he is going absolutely nowhere in the wrong direction. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And as a result, it'll be Titan football on the turnover on downs. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about it, they did. Yeah. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Bowen. And he's going to go down again. Time for a break. This one all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Operating from the gun. Bowen. Now a desperation throw deep. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off right around the 43. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some ball was tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And they'll run it here. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. 4th down. Here's Jackson. He's going to rifle one deep left, and that's caught inside the 30. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Up big, and they go for 2, and they get it.
I remember being in high school and seeing an article in the paper where a local columnist had said, why are we fighting over sportsmanship and running up the score? Just run it up on everybody and deal with it. Some people just don't care that way, and obviously this coach feels the exact same way.
So that article is saying the defense should be able to stop them.
That's what they're trying to say. Hey, if you don't want it to happen, stop them. Otherwise, quit whining about it.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Peterson. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Point after, right down the middle, as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Now this offense ready to head back out there. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. Now they'll run it on the toss. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about running them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Now, before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Over! Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Now they'll run it on the toss. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Your trip is here, baby! Your trip is here!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Hurry up, here we go!
They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the home team here, they use the favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for the Titans, they'll fall to 1-1, and they'll be back.